CoreLogic has released their March HVI info pack. So let's unpack them and see what it means for you. So the headline here is the housing downturn reverses in the month of February. Surprisingly, Melbourne and Hobart now lead the way in terms of growth in the Australian property market at 0.4% in the month of February. And guys, Melbourne here has taken an absolute hammering over the last 10 months with 10 consecutive price falls. Over the last 10 months, guys. And now Melbourne's on top. Sydney growth is now on par with Perth and Adelaide. So remember, over the last period, it's been the smaller capitals that have been absolutely driving property growth in the Australian market. Markets like Perth, Brisbane, Adelaide have been on fire. But what we're seeing now is Sydney is making a comeback. Now, here's a big change, right? So there's changes in the data that's occurring. The Melbourne and Sydney property growth is happening at the top end of the market. Now remember, over the last period, it's been the value end of the market where property prices have seen growth. And why is that? Because we've had high interest rates and we've had low borrowing capacities, and that's forced everyone to buy properties that they could afford at the value end of the market. So the value end of the market in Sydney is areas like Mount Druitt, Campbelltown. They've seen phenomenal growth over the last period. And up in Queensland, you might look at areas like Logan, Logan Reserve, even out to Ipswich. Those types of areas have seen great growth over the last period. So those fringe corridor areas have fared phenomenally well. But now there's a change. And what's driving that change? The top end of the market is most sensitive to interest rate drops. And that's where we are now. Why? Because it changes sentiment. But what is sentiment? Well, sentiment is just feeling. Like, how do you feel? Yes, that's right. Your feelings can impact property prices. But how does that work? When people feel like property prices are going to increase and do better, they tend to spend more. They believe property prices are going to be higher in the future. They're willing to pay a bit more now to make sure they secure the right property. And guys, this is no similar to you. Let's say you're out shopping, you're going into Woolworths or Coles, and you're feeling really hungry. That feeling, that sentiment that you have is going to drive your purchasing decisions. I guarantee you, if you go in hungry, you're going to buy way more food than what you would have if you weren't hungry. It changes the way that you behave and it impacts your purchasing decisions. So also, here's another big thing. Regional is outperforming the capitals. So that's 0.4% to 0.3%. So that means in markets like Dubbo and Toowoomba are outperforming Sydney and Brisbane. So keep an eye on that one. And our belief is there is phenomenal value that currently exists in regional markets. You can get great cash flow with good upside in terms of potential capital growth. So keep an eye out. We're going to update you on that. It's coming. Another thing to keep an eye on is supply listings are down. They're down 7.9% compared to the 5-year average. So falling stock, falling interest rates, and improving sentiment, that is all going to put upwards pressure on prices. And we forecast here at TMAP that we are going to see more interest rate reductions. They never happen in singles, guys. Whether interest rates move down or move up, they happen in clusters. We've only seen one, and there is more to come. So what that means, we're going to see interest rates fall, we're going to see property values increase. So what does that mean for you? Well, it's time, baby. It's time for you to take action.